Hey guys, welcome back. So when it comes to exercise, is it better to have a little bit of food beforehand or do a fasted workout? For both burning fat and building muscle and having a healthier, maximizing health span, I want to share with you an email from Raul, who's been listening to some of our videos. Yeah, he happens to live here in Washington State. He says, "Hey Mike, how are you? I watched one of your videos. I live in Bellingham, which is 75.3 miles north of Kirkland, which is where I live. I think it would be a good idea to do a video on what to eat before and after a workout, a light breakfast or no breakfast at all. So what is the best approach? When it comes to nutrition before a workout or after a workout, it would be very helpful to me. Thanks, Raul." I think this really is personal, but I am biased and I do strongly believe that you should not try to exercise fasted. Why is that? Because when you exercise fasted, sure, you might temporarily increase fat oxidation during the exercise session, but the real magic of exercise happens in the post-workout window. You want to liken exercise to a marathon. It's not about, just doing a good sprint. You're in it for the long haul. The magic happens when you consistently and regularly exercise because you're improving the ability to oxidize fats. You're building more muscle. Muscle, we know, is largely where fats are oxidized. They're oxidized in the brain and the liver, but by volume, most of your fats and glucose will be oxidized by working skeletal muscle. So you want to prioritize your exercise sessions so that you maximize the strain and stress on the skeletal muscle so that you can have all the benefits in the post-exercise window and beyond. So when you do a fasted exercise session, what happens? Well, you deplete liver glycogen first, then you start to deplete muscle glycogen, and then your workouts start to suck. And having a sucky workout is not going to help you build muscle over the long haul. So I am all about prioritizing for a better workout. Now, some people are used to training fasted. They've been getting up before work, they go to the gym, they do their exercise session, and they come back and have breakfast later or lunch or what have you later on in the day. And if that is working for you and you have a small amount of belly fat, you're getting stronger, your VO2 max is increasing, you're building muscle, then please, by all means, keep doing that. I am not trying to get you to change. However, if your body composition is not changing, you're not experiencing the benefits that you hope to achieve from exercise, from a health perspective, from a longevity perspective, from a body composition perspective, I strongly suggest having some pre or intra-workout nutrition. And that is a little bit different for everyone based upon their prior health history, their exercise history, and what are their goals. Some people have enough muscle, but they want to lose body fat. Some people have excess body fat and not enough muscle. So we want to help them build muscle and burn fat at the same time. So what I suggest is fueling your workouts so that you have the best workout. And this is, again, customized and personalized based upon the individual. So if you've been exercising, not getting the benefits, and you've been fasted exercising, start to do non-fasted exercise. What would that look like? That might be a small piece of fruit before the gym, and while you're at the gym, sipping on some whey protein, having some creatine containing electrolytes intra-workout. We know that that has been shown to help reduce neurologic fatigue, help to increase muscular power and output. We've shared with you a lot about creatine and so forth. But having some small light food before or during the workout can help you work out. And that, in my opinion, is ideal. Maybe one day a week, you do a fasted cardio session, you go for a long walk, you go for a hike, you don't have any food. And there is some benefits to training low. So we've talked with Dr. Mark Bubbs before. He has a book all about this, athletics and the importance of training low. But that doesn't necessarily help to optimize muscle hypertrophy or fat oxidation, because we know that most of the fat oxidation happens in the post-exercise window. So you can go do a CrossFit style glycolytic based workout where you're not oxidizing a lot of fat. And because you've depleted that muscular glycogen in the post-exercise window, fat oxidation actually increases more so than just doing an exercise session that prioritizes fat oxidation, such as zone 2 training fasted. So again, it's important to prioritize the exercise session. So going back to Raul's specific question, what should I do? Okay, if exercise is first thing in the morning before work, before school and all of that, you can have a little bit of fruit whey protein. You can have some eggs with some fruit. You can have some sweet potatoes, some white rice with some eggs or some steak. Have that 30 to 40 minutes before your workout. Now, if you work out at 5 in the morning, that doesn't mean you have to get up at 3:30 in the morning to eat. That means just get up at 5 and grab like a banana. Oh my gosh, a banana, it's high glycemic. Who cares? You're going to the gym. You're going to burn right through that. That banana could help you produce more force, more power during the exercise session. And that will have greater dividends paid back to you in the form of metabolic health, maximizing longevity compared to not having the banana. Because if you don't have the banana, you might do 2 or 3 sets of a bench press or a squat or a deadlift. After that second or third set, you're gassed. You've depleted your liver glycogen, your muscular glycogen. So now you're trying to quickly replenish that glycogen or use ketones or some such. And unless you're trying to be a keto zealot or a keto hero, I don't necessarily recommend that. I have found that even if I have 100 grams of carbs before an exercise session, my post-exercise glucose levels are like 105. So this is not causing a super physiologic shift in blood glucose because you're using it on demand right there during the exercise session. Now, what about post-workout? A lot of people want to say, well, you have to have 30 grams of carbohydrates or 60 grams of protein or some such thing after the exercise session. It depends on when your next exercise session is and how intense the exercise session was. So if you went to the gym, you did an F45 class, you did an Orange Theory class, it wasn't really high demand on the muscular tissue in terms of hypertrophy based, you probably don't need a whey protein shake right after. You can wait a few hours and have a regular meal. But if you induced significant damage to your muscle from a hypertrophy session, it might behoove you to increase muscle protein synthesis in the post-exercise window by having some easily consumed protein as well as carbohydrates. And, people could have a whey protein shake, could have some eggs, could have some steak. I tend to gravitate towards more whole, real foods, but everyone is different based upon their lifestyle. So if you don't have a whey protein shake, you're not going to wither away and fall apart. But again, if you're trying to maximize the gains and get the most benefit, and part of why I recommend all these factors, having a good workout, building muscle and getting stronger, is because it's like this snowball rolling down the hill. You're trying to get people to exercise consistently for the rest of their life. And if they're not experiencing the benefits or getting some small wins by getting stronger, they're less likely to make this a lifestyle habit and they'll drop off and not work out. So having a good exercise session, seeing strength, seeing changes in your body composition, feeling like you're getting stronger, just lends itself to getting more inertia with that snowball rolling downhill and converting exercise into a lifestyle as opposed to just something you do to get fit for an upcoming wedding, which is important. It's more important to stay fit forever. And so I think that's the most important thing. So Raul and everyone else who's curious about this, prioritize your workout. If that means having some carbs, that means having some oranges, some dried fruit, a banana, some whey protein. I really think the benefits of exercise outweigh the potential shifts in blood glucose and certainly outweigh the perceived increase in fat oxidation during a fasted workout. I really see what actually happens is people do dig a calorie hole and they overconsume calories after the workout if they do a hard workout fasted. And that kind of is counterproductive to the whole burning extra fat in a fasted exercise session. Also, we've covered other studies that have talked about this in recent years where the changes in body composition and fat oxidation is really no different between a fat exercise session and a fasted exercise session. Last January, we put out a podcast with Alan Argon and where we talked a lot about this. It really doesn't matter from a calorie deficit standpoint. Again, prioritize the exercise session, get the most mileage, the most damage to the muscle, HIIT training, and all of that can really pay dividends by producing more force and power during the session as opposed to trying to maximize fat oxidation during exercise. So I hope that makes sense to you. Again, this is personalized based upon how much muscle mass people have, how heavy they're going, how long they've been doing powerlifting or strength training or HIIT training. It really depends, but I don't think you get any extra brownie points for being a fat oxidation warrior and trying to do everything in a fasted state. You're actually going to find that you're not going to get stronger, as opposed to if you were to fuel your workout appropriately. That doesn't mean you have to overdo it and preload with pasta the night before. I'm not saying that. It's just having some intra-workout carbs that are easily digestible. Fruit comes to mind, a little honey comes to mind, and having some protein. This can be grass-fed yogurt, raw milk. This can be whey protein, eggs, those things that are relatively easily digested that can offer quick levels of amino acids and so forth to prevent muscle catabolism and to help resynthesize some of the broken down muscles from the hypertrophy session. So really appreciate the question, Raul. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thanks for hitting that like button. If you have any questions, please leave them below in the comments and we'll be sure to answer them.